Hey, welcome to Retired Now What, the podcast that's here to guide you through the exciting journey of retirement. Whether you're asking yourself now what or eager to explore the untapped possibilities in this new chapter, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Michael Kiffmeyer, and together we will discover how to repurpose your knowledge, embrace mastery, and live a purpose-driven life. Let's dive in. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michael Kiffmeyer, and this is the You're Retired, Now What podcast. I'm your host, and this is episode number 12 of our series, You're Retired, Now What. Today's topic I'd like to talk to you about is the sense of worthiness. Do you feel worthy to do more? Do you even want to do more? You may be retired, but you're feeling that you're worthy to do more, but not quite sure of it. So there's a whole lot of things that affect us in feeling that we're worthy. One of the things that we always disassociate ourselves with is the fact is how society kind of tells us what we're all about all the time. It gives us a kind of gauge, either being real or unreal, about who we should be, what we should be doing at this time of our life. So first and foremost, I want to call BS on all that because you are unique to yourself. You don't have to answer to anybody but to yourself. Yes, you might be married and you have a significant other that you have to be accountable to. But as far as what you are going to do and what you're all about, it's totally up to you. Many people don't feel worthy to do more. I want to share this with you. Worthiness can start to have its roots all the way back to when you were a child. I'll give you a great example of that. When I was a young man, I say even a child still, I was 12 to 13. I grew up chubby, let's say fat. That's probably more like it. And I had a stepfather at the time that never let me forget it. He was on me over and over again. Well, I got that kind of personality. You tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I surely did. I got tired of hearing it from classmates and different friends. I really got tired of hearing it from my stepfather. So I set out and started walking about 5 miles a day for about a period of 3 to 4 months, and I dropped 80 pounds. I shut people up, and that was my intention. But the bigger intention was I wanted to feel good about myself. I wanted to feel that I was worthy and I could do more. Worthiness and mindset kind of go hand in hand. Your self-esteem is made up about 4 attitudes about yourself. Your confidence, your sense of identity, your sense of belonging, and your assurance in your own abilities. You know what you can do. I want you to think back when you were working and you had a career. Perhaps you had a job that you really loved, but it was time to move on. I want you to think about all the abilities and capabilities you had in your last position. Self-confidence starts about believing in one's abilities and one's capabilities. You know what you can do. And you don't need a structure to tell you what you're all about. You decide what you're about. So if you're struggling with self-confidence and trying to say, I'm not worthy, these are things you can overcome. You can overcome this by cultivating self-confidence. This is a lifelong journey. When you want to do something new and you say, I can't, I want you to say, I can't do it yet. That has got a whole different connotation than just saying, I can't do it. I'm not worthy to do that. Affirmations, you'd be surprised at what they can do. Positive self-talk can put you in the mindset that you can do it. You watch it all the time with athletes. They think about putting that golf ball in the hole. They think about catching that long pass, hitting that home run, making that outstanding catch. And they have done it 100 times in their minds before they actually do it. So by the time they actually do it, it's second nature. You can have the same kind of self-confidence. You know, society always perpetuates unrealistic standards of beauty, what you're supposed to be, feel like. They feed inadequacy in ourselves, only because we listen to them. So we don't have to operate any longer on anybody's time frame. We just operate on our own time frame. Think about all the strengths and the accomplishments that you have done in the past. You know, self-worth is external validation that you can do exactly what you say you're going to do. Then you want to look at authentic confidence. And authentic confidence basically tells you nothing can stop me. I can do it. It might take me a few times, but I can do it. I'll give you a great example. Thomas Edison, it took him 10,000 tries to get the light bulb right. And when he was asked about it, he said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. He said, I just didn't have the right solution. That's authentic confidence. He knew he could do this. Grandma Moses at 85 started to paint. Hadn't painted before. She did outstanding work. Self-assured, deep self-confidence in herself. And then there was Colonel Sanders. He was 65 years old, had tried for over 20 years to get his chicken recipe accepted. It took a long while, but look what happened. He's got the most famous chicken in the world today. I mean, it's all over the world. So these folks had persistence, had self-assurance, and they had a self-confidence that was second to none. Self-confidence is not about being perfect. It's about embracing your strengths and owning your worthiness. You are worthy. You're worthy for anything that you want to accomplish. And don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. Don't let anybody else kind of sit what you're supposed to do. You know, one of the reasons that I believe that I'm an entrepreneur, I don't even believe it, I know it, is the fact that I got tired throughout my life and throughout all my different positions of people telling me what I was all about. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm about. You don't know what I'm capable of. I want to share the same thing with you. People don't know your inner feelings. They don't know what goes on in your mind, but they sure tell you what you're all about. Well, you do this, you do that. You know, I've got a great sense of humor, and I was probably the class clown. Well, I was the class clown when I went to high school, but I grew out of that. And it just amazes me. I live in California now, and I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it amazes me that when I go back and visit friends and family, they still think I'm that guy. And that was over 40, 50 years ago. They still think I'm that guy. Isn't it amazing how people put labels on you, telling you what you're all about, even though you've outgrown that, or you've got different interests and different aspects of your life that they know nothing about? I don't say that in a braggadocious way. I just say that don't tell me what I'm all about. Likewise, you shouldn't let other folks tell you what you're all about. If you want to start another business now that you're retired, or you want to do something, take one of your hobbies and expound upon that, you're worthy to do that. You need to have a willingness to challenge your limiting beliefs. You need to surround yourself with supportive people and positive people that embrace exactly what it is that you're thinking of doing. Focus on your strengths and your achievements. Think back on everything you have done throughout the course of your lifetime. Why are you not worthy to do more if that's what you choose to do? Why are you not bound to people's boundaries, telling you what you're all about. I say you're not. I say that you can do anything it is you want to do. You need to communicate your needs to others too. When they say, well, you need to just relax and do whatever. If that's how you feel, great. I'm not going to dissuade you from that. But if you want to do more, why do you have to work within other people's boundaries? Boundaries are a form of self-respect and self-confidence as well. But you decide if you want to work within those boundaries. You might have felt frustrated throughout your working career from time to time. And you said, you know what, when I retire, I'm not going to do this anymore. What happened with those thoughts that you have? You need to embrace your uniqueness because you are unique and you have certain gifts that you were born with that this world needs. And perhaps you do just want to relax and don't want to pursue, say, goals per se as you envision them. But I'd implore you to be open. Be open about different ideas and different thoughts. When you worked, you had friends and colleagues that you interacted with. So you need to find groups and other people that you need to make part of a group so you feel like you belong. So what does self-identity mean? What is your self-identity? It refers to the perception and the understanding individuals have of themselves. So what do you tell yourself on a daily basis? Who am I? What do I have? What is it I do? What am I all about? As long as you know that and you project that to others, then you've got your self-identity working well for you. Once you have good self-identity, self-worth, then you can accomplish just about anything you want to. It's those nagging thoughts of, I can't do this, everybody says I couldn't do that, and that's just crap. I'm sorry, you can do anything it is you put your mind to, as long as you're willing to work to get it. As we mature, so does our self-identity. Remember the story I told you about myself, that people thought I was still that same person? If you don't change throughout this life, you don't grow. And if you don't grow, I'm sorry, you're going to die. You're going to die without feeling unfulfilled. So you need to understand yourself. Society plays a significant role in our self-identity. Remember that. And if you don't want to be the way some people say that you are, let's change it. Let's look at where we want to be now and how we want it to look. So, and if you don't start to change it, you're going to have internal conflicts with yourself, and you're going to constantly fight with yourself, not feeling authentic. I'm saying that I have tools, process, methodologies that I can help you with. I spent over 30 years teaching major corporations change management, new ways of learning, adult learning, and empowering people at the point of impact. My goal now is to help you. I want to help others. I did that for organizations around the world for many years. Now I want to serve individuals such as yourself. I welcome your questions. I want to help you unpack your passions, your strength, and any feedback you get from trusted friends and from family. Because this is all going to add to what your self-identity is and who you are today. You've probably heard me before, and I'll repeat it again here, and not to be redundant, but the Japanese call it ikigai. And ikigai is quite simply a reason for getting up out of that bed. We call it sense of purpose, but ikigai for the Japanese starts when they're young, and it continues throughout their life. We have a tendency, especially here in the United States, of putting things in boxes, putting our life in time frames that are self-imposed. And sometimes we listen to others too much. And you know what happens when we listen to others? Many more times than not, we kind of reject it, and we feel like our hands are tied because people are telling us what we should do versus what we really want to do. So you are worthy to accomplish anything you want. You are worthy to reach any plateau that you want within that time frame. You don't have to do it in others' time frame. You do it in your own time frame. You try over and over again until you get it right. If you want to leave a legacy of this life, you got to kind of decide what is that. You can't just think, well, I worked and this is what I did for so many years and that's it. Trust your intuition and honor your authentic self. And remember, self-identity is not a destination, but it's a continuous process. And you could have worked 40, 50 years, but is that who you are? You know, your job and your career, that's just something you did. But who you are is a whole different person. And you need to embrace that. And you need to, in your own mind, in your own mindset, you need to separate from what's a job and what am I? I know that sounds crazy, but they are different. Okay? Yes, I understand you need to be valued and connected to a group. And when you work, you certainly were. And you can do that again. There's groups that you can do over and beyond what you did in all your working years. You could do things that you never thought you were capable of. You could volunteer. Perhaps you do want to get a part-time job. Perhaps you want to do your own thing. Start a company. Help others. Teach others. Why can't you do it? You're worthy of all that. And on top of that, or even in addition, you need to have your emotional well-being taken care of. When you're busy and when you have something to do or something just to look forward to on a day-to-day basis, it makes all the difference in the world. Belonging, it helps you with that self-esteem, and it provides a buffer between challenges and setbacks. Ultimately, you want to feel good about each and everything that you do, and you don't want others to tell you what that should be. So I hope you take what I've said today to heart, and I hope that you start to cultivate your worthiness, your self-respect, your self-esteem, and what that means for you today. You don't just have to pay attention to these areas when you work. You got to do this throughout your entire life, because that makes you the complete person. That makes you the person that you're proud of and the person that you want to be. I appreciate you for listening, and I got a suggestion. If you have friends, colleagues, or family that could take what we've said here and apply it to themselves, please pass this podcast on. Please invite them. You know, your best friend down the street or maybe somebody even in your family, you might think they all have all together because they're now retired. But they got questions too. And I believe all of us can help them have a sense of purpose, help them find their ikigai, the reason to move every day, and not pay attention to everybody else, but to do what they want to do. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you next week when we continue this series, and stay tuned for You're Retired, Now What? Episode number 13 coming up next week. Thank you again. Thanks for tuning in to Retired Now What? I hope today's conversation has given you some valuable insights as you navigate the journey of life after retirement. Always remember, life doesn't stop after retirement. It's an opportunity for a new beginning.